What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the City Life Project YouTube channel for yet another picks and predictions video. UFC 304 Edwards versus Muhammad 2. And we're going to go over the entire card, starting with the early prelims all the way to the main event. If you're new to the channel, smash that like button and subscribe. We will be hosting a fight companion for this event tomorrow, along with Cage Fury FC tonight in a couple of hours, along with UAE Warriors tomorrow morning before UFC, then after UFC Super Rising 3. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Usually we are a little bit more interactive throughout these streams. I'll go through like a few of these picks and I'll take your guys' comments. I will hopefully take a few of your guys' comments towards the end of the stream if I have time, but I do have a meeting in an hour, so we're going to fire through these. Let's get right into it. Starting with the first fight on the card, Shauna Bannon against the late replacement, Elise Ardelean. I'm going to go with Shauna Bannon on this one. Pretty straightforward. Now, is she the best fighter out there? No. Is she like okay everywhere? Yeah. But her opponent has fought scrubs. Now, she lost to Weili Zhang at one point in her career, but for the most part, all the girls that she beats are scrubs. Short notice fight. She's pretty much only beaten terrible opponents. She's not UFC caliber. She's got a little bit of power in those mitts, but yeah, she makes her money on OF. She makes her money on her other avenues. I want to say social media, but it's not even social media. Media avenues. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Bannon is better everywhere. Nothing special, but okay striking. She's pretty light on her feet. She does have some good kicks. Yeah, her opponent is more of an influencer slash OF star, I think. I don't know. Late replacement, not UFC caliber. Shauna Bannon should beat her in this one. All right, let's get to the next one. Mick Parkin against Łukasz Brzeski. Mick Parkin 9-0 as a pro against Łukasz Brzeski, who's 9-4-1. One no contest, and 3 in his last 5 fights. Whereas Mick Parkin is undefeated, 9-0. I'm going with Mick Parkin on this one. He is the pretty big favorite at -350. He's got good leg kicks. Also not bad cardio at all for a big boy. Awesome grappling, good strikes in the clinch, solid takedowns. Comes out of a great camp, the Fish Tank, where he trains alongside notable champions such as Tom Aspinall and Phil Defree, the greatest heavyweight outside of the UFC. And yeah, he's better than all of the last opponents that Brzeski has fought and even beaten. His one win against Walter Walker, funny enough. Yeah, he's not good, and he wasn't even that good in his last win either. Now, not to say that Mick Parkin has beaten world beaters. This is heavyweight, okay? This is heavyweight, but yeah, this streak speaks for itself, and even though there's some cans on this one, he's at least finished those cans, which if you're going to beat a can, especially at heavyweight, you got to finish them for me to give you any props at all, and it just seems like he has been improving. He's only 28 years of age as well, so we're going with Mick Parkin. Moving up the card, we have Sam Patterson against Kiefer Crosbie. Get this up for you guys. Sam Patterson, 11-2-1 as a pro, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He did have his redemption by winning his last fight upon having a horrendous UFC debut at lightweight, though. And it was kind of a scary knockout, as he was knocked out, and then he didn't know where he was, and he was like trying to knock out the referee who was like calming him down there. But he's going up against another guy who has no business being in the UFC. He's not UFC caliber at all, Kiefer Crosbie. Now, I know on the regional scene, he looked okay. I know in Bellator, he was beating guys with decent records, but I mean, there's just levels to this, and he is not at the level that you have to be at the UFC, and he's not at the level to fight a good prospect in Sam Patterson. 5 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 3 decisions, 4-3 in Bellator, 0-1 in the UFC. He beat an old Alex Oliveira. That's arguably his best win, ladies and gentlemen. That's arguably his best win. An old cowboy Oliveira. Sam Patterson, I think 170 is the proper weight class for him. 4 KO, TKO, 6 submissions, 1 decision. He was actually a finishing machine on the regional scene, and he developed in Brave, which is one of the best regional promotions and a hard regional promotion to fight in, especially if you go, the decision route. It's hard to really earn a decision there if you're, let's just say if you're a white boy, all right? And he made quick work of making a name for himself in that promotion and was finishing a lot of the guys there as well. So I am going Sam Patterson. He's the heavy favorite for a reason. Like I said, Kiefer Crosbie, not UFC caliber, did okay in Bellator, has some power, but Sam Patterson is way more well-rounded, bounced back from his KO loss at lightweight against a power striker at welterweight in that of Johan Lannes, who's actually pretty good. Finishing machine on the regionals, like I said. Great prospect against a non-UFC fighter. It's simple. Sam Patterson should win this one. What's up, Dylan? What's up, Sean? What's up, No Chill MMA? What's up, Irish Animal? Good to see you guys. TR Clips, good to see you. Is fighting in Brave like not being tied in one? Yes. And that's why, Katona's little run over there was pretty impressive as well. Again, I can't be as interactive as I usually am in these streams, guys, but I will check back in on the comments as much as I can. I do have a meeting in less than an hour, so we got to hammer through these. And if I get through them in relative quick fashion, then we'll read your comments and stay on for a little bit longer. All right, moving up the card here, which is crazy that this is on the early prelims. We have Muhammad Mokaev against Manel Kape. Muhammad Mokaev, 11-0. He is undefeated, ladies and gentlemen, up against Starboy Manel Kape, who absolutely tore it up in Ryzen before coming over to the UFC, and then has been having troubles with his weight, with injury, with just being able to get a fight as of late. But he made weight, which is the first win. He made weight, and he's primed and ready for this one. These guys have a little bit of beef as well, dating back to an incident at the UFC PI a little while ago, and in the freaking lobby of the, I don't know if it was the hotel or the venue, just yesterday as well. 19-6 for Manel Kape, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Originally out of Portugal, but has been traveling the world and trains out of Extreme Couture. 30 years of age, 11 KO, TKO, 5 submission, 3 decision. 6-3 in Ryzen, 4-2 in the UFC. And in the UFC, absolutely smoked Ode Osborne, smoked Zumagulov, who's not easy to finish, let's be perfectly honest. The only fight that was kind of iffy was, Felipe Dos Santos, who's a good prospect coming in, and I thought Manel Kape would smoke him on short notice, but Felipe Dos Santos actually looked very good in that fight. Lost Mateus, Nicolau, and Alexander Pantoja, the champion now, which, hey, no shame in that. Yo, what's up, Whoa Black Betty, Bambalam? Good to see you. Surprised you are covering a niche MMA promotion like the UFC, right? I'm even going to be hosting a fight companion for that. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Great wins over Kaya Sakura and Sachiro Ito, for example, in Ryzen. Only really lost to the best in Ryzen, was able to get one of those losses back against Kai Asakura. It's going well, man. Hope you're doing well, okay? Hope you're doing well too, man. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're having a great Friday. It is Friday, right? I can't keep track, especially with there being fights yesterday. No, it is Friday. It was just crazy to have Cage Warriors on a Thursday. Muhammad Mokaev, the Punisher, 23 years of age, still so young. And funny enough, was taking kids' classes under Tom Aspinall when he was getting into the sport. 1 KO, TKO, 6 submission, 4 decision, 6-0 in the UFC, 4-0-1 no contest in Brave. So again, developed in a really good promotion as well. Had a good win over Alex Perez. Tim Elliott actually made that fight quite competitive. Filo was winning the fight and almost beat him until Mokaev actually showed that he was kind of a Chad in that one. Sacrificed his knee to be able to get the rear naked choke late. But if that did go the distance, I do think Rafael Filo would have won. Was able to blast through Malcolm Gordon. Had a competitive fight against Charles Johnson, Cody Durden. He's good, but is he Manel Kape's level? I don't think he is. I'm going Manel Kape plus money. Thank you very much. Money in the bank. Great finishes against way better opponents. He's got good takedown defense that's further improving, okay? Like, he had good, not great takedown defense. He's been training with Dagestanis. To really polish up that skill. Yes, Mokaev has good wrestling, but it's not even close. He's not even close to on the same level on the feet as that of Manel Kape. Manel Kape has way more tools on the feet, and he's way quicker. Manel Kape is better than Perez, better than Elliott, better than Filo, better than Gordon, and better than Johnson, okay? He just is. He's a level above, despite Mokaev being a specialist in the grappling. Manel Kape is stronger. Manel Kape is bigger. I'm going with Manel Kape. What's up, Hank? What's up, Sean? What's up, Yada Lock? Good to see you guys. All right, let's get to the next one here. Oban Elliott against Preston Parsons. Now, I really want to pick Oban Elliott. Parsons just better. So I am going with Parsons on this one. I gave it away early here. But Oban Elliott definitely has a chance to win. It's not like I'm writing him off completely. I originally picked him to win when I did my early picks and predictions on the Rush City Fight Show. Then I actually dug deep and did some research, and I'm like, fuck, man, Preston Parsons is legit. He's just entering, he's not even in his prime yet. They're both young in the sport, and I like Preston Parsons. Now, do you think overall Oban Elliott has is more well-rounded? Maybe just a little bit. But he's good everywhere, not great everywhere. Where Preston Parsons is very quick, has really good fight IQ, and is a motherfucker when he drags you into deep water and is wrestling and employing his grappling. And I just think overall he's smarter and a little bit more seasoned against better competition. 11-4 as a pro. He's 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Did win his last fight. 0 knockouts, and he's been knocked out twice, though, so take note of that. 9 submissions, 2 decisions, 2-2 in the UFC, 3-1 in HOF, 4-0 in Combat Night, and 2-1 in a Titan FC. He's been everywhere on the regional scene. Had a good win against Semi, the Jedi. Lost to Trevin Giles, beat Evan Elder. Lost to Daniel Rodriguez, and then was on a 4-fight win streak before that. Which realistically, one of the guys was a freaking can. The rest of them were okay. Actually has a win against a young Ignacio Bahamondes when he was only 3-1 as well. Again, though, his record doesn't tell the whole story. And that's why I was picking Oban Elliott in my early predictions before I actually really dove into watching some tape, to be perfectly honest. But Oban Elliott, he's a prospect. He's a prospect who didn't blow us away, nor Dana White, on his Contender Series fight, but was facing a very dangerous opponent, which, he didn't dominate. He survived at times and was able to get that win. And I think, there was value in that, clearly, that the UFC and Dana White saw. 10-2 as a pro, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. 2 KO, TKO, 3 submission, 5 decisions. Only 2 losses have come via knockout. Beat Val Woodburn in his UFC debut. I mean, hey, you got to beat who they give you, but he didn't dominate Val Woodburn. You have to dominate Val Woodburn to be a legit prospect in the UFC. But this guy that he beat on Contender Series is a very tough opponent. And I mean, it was a great fight. And James Sheehan, before getting that call to Contender Series, very good opponent as well in Cage Warriors. But before then, he was beating the guys he needed to beat, and proved that when he took a step up in competition, when he was 4-1 against Flaminas, who's damn good and now ripping it up in KSW as well, just wasn't ready. Michael Figlak too, when he was 2-0. Figlak's okay. Just wasn't ready for that either, where you clearly saw a difference in skills. So I am going with Preston Parsons here, but yeah, he's a talented grappler, well-rounded overall, smart fighter, very quick movement and striking. He's faster than Oban Elliott, I truly believe. He's fought better competition throughout his career and beat them soundly. Oban Elliott is tough, though. He's hard to finish overall. He is pretty good at grappling, but it's just not as good as Parsons. I just think like Parsons is more UFC ready overall. Plus pretty much entering his prime right now. And again, just wasn't as impressed with the Val Woodburn win coming from Oban Elliott that honestly I thought I was when I first watched it, going back and rewatching the fight. All right, let's get to the next one. What's up, Denial? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, JL. Good to see you, V, Kenlu, and Aaron. No chills here as well. Good to see you guys. All right. Modestas Bukauskas against Marcin Prachnio. This one's a hard one to pick. This one was a hard one to pick. Modestas Bukauskas, 15-6 as a pro. Marcin Prachnio, 17-7. Bukauskas, 30 years of age. Prachnio, 36. He's actually been around for a while. 17-7, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. 11 KO TKOs, 1 submission, 5 decisions, 4-5 in the UFC, 4-0 in 1 championship. Beat Devin Clark, lost to Vitor Petrino, beat William Knight. I mean, like Devin Clark, William Knight, his last 2 wins, meh. At least he got those wins, but meh. Lost to Felipe Lins. I mean, this win against Khalil Roundtree back in 2021 has aged beautifully. Before then was on a 3-fight losing streak. He lost a smiling Sam Alvey back in 2018. The champ in karate combat. Smiling Sam Alvey. Modestas Bukauskas, he is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Got his knee absolutely destroyed by Khalil Roundtree. Went back to Cage Warriors and went on a nice little run. Won the belt. They won a 3-fight win streak there. Won the belt. Beat Tyson Pedro in the UFC. Beat Zach Praga, which, whatever. He didn't finish Zach Praga, so that's kind of like, you should be finishing him, even at light heavyweight. And then got absolutely knocked the fuck out against Vitor Petrino, which, hey, Vitor Petrino submitted Prachnio, so they both lost to the same guy. This is actually a pretty even matchup here. I do like this matchup, and I'm leaning towards the favorite, Modestas Bukauskas. I do think Prachnio is a little chinny in the fact that he gets dropped a lot in his fights. Bukauskas fought more like a killer in his first UFC run and in his first Cage Warriors run as well. Fought a lot more aggressive and actually finished more guys in his first Cage Warriors run than even in his second, or just fought with that like more killer mentality where fights more technical and I guess you could say safe now. He's tall, he's lanky, he likes to strike on the outside. He is a technical striker, not a big ground game, but could use it. Like, his ground game is better than Prachnio. We just haven't seen it that often. But when he does employ it, you're like, oh, yeah, it is there. And that is where I think that is where he will have the clear advantage against Prachnio, because Prachnio is a hell of a good striker, very light on his feet. And, I mean, that's his bread and butter, is striking, right? So he could show that he is better than Bukauskas, despite both them being technical strikers. And in that case, I would like to see Bukauskas use his striking. I'm going to bank on him or use his grappling, even if it's just cage work. Clinch work up against the cage, some short breaks, some elbows, some things like that. Because, yeah, Prachnio actually employs the leg kicks very well. And what was the major injury from Bukauskas? Well, it was freaking a knee injury that Khalil Roundtree went full John Jones on. I think this will be a battle of the technical strikers. Bukauskas, I do think, is just a little bit tougher. He does have a little bit of a reach advantage, and if he does employ even a little bit of grappling in this one, that should give him the edge. So I'm going with Modestas. All right, moving up the card here. Caolán Loughran against Jake Hadley. Jake Hadley's taking this fight on short notice, ladies and gentlemen. I truly feel like Jake Hadley should have waited. I get he wanted to be on this card. He wanted to be on a UK card. He wanted to be on the Manchester card. But I really think on a 2-fight win streak, not really living up to the hype that we thought he would live up to in his last few fights on the regional scene and on Contender Series and in his early UFC fights. I think he should have waited for a better matchup and waited to fight on a full camp. But hey, wanted to get on this card and maybe short notice. If he loses this one, he and his camp feels, and maybe even the UFC feels, okay, we'll give him one more chance because this wasn't him on a full camp. But this is a hard opponent. Caolán Loughran is damn good. He's got strong hands. He's got really good striking, and he's fucking strong, man. So I am going with him. I am going with the favorite at -220. He's 9-1 as a pro. 4-1 in his last 5 fights, lost his UFC debut, unanimous decision against a very good opponent in Taylor Lapilou. Was able to come back strong against Angel Pacheco, who is a much lesser opponent than Lapilou, but looked awesome in that one. He's 28 years of age. It's crazy thing. Jake Hadley's 27. He's a little bit younger, but did have some flashy ass submissions and showed really good technical grappling in his rise. Jake Hadley, 10-3 as a pro, only 2-3 in his last 5 fights. And the fights that he's lost, I mean, they haven't looked good. 3 KO, TKO, 5 submission, 2 decisions, 2-3 in the UFC. You get Charles Johnson and Cody Durden, not bad. I guess not bad losses, but and good wins against Malcolm Gordon and Carlos Candelario. But Malcolm Gordon just not the best opponent there. I mean, Alan Nascimento, no shame in that either. Losing unanimous decision. Alan Nascimento is very good. Loughran, 5 KO TKOs, 2 submissions, 2 decisions, 1-1 in the UFC, 4-0 in Cage Warriors. And yeah, he was undefeated before that loss against Taylor Lapilou. Oh my God. His first 2 fights in MMA, though, my God, cans upon cans upon cans, and it's a good thing that he absolutely destroyed them in the first round, or I'd be very, very critical of him. But when he did eventually take a step up in competition, boy, he proved that he was ready for that, and he had a great run on the amateur scene, going 8-2. Going Caolán Loughran on this one. Stronger, bigger, good striker, scrappy, hard to finish. Obviously, Jake Hadley is solid grappling, but I mean, just giving up size in this one as well. Like I said, tough first UFC fight for Loughran. Bounce back against a lesser opponent, but absolutely schooled him, which is what you want to see. Tougher, won't be ragdolled or subbed by Hadley, in my opinion, unless he makes just stupid mistakes. And I wouldn't say he's like a high IQ MMA fighter, but he's not dumb. So going Loughran on that one. All right, next we have Molly McCann versus Bruna, Brazil. Let's just take a quick glance at the comments here, see if I missed anything. What's up, Jay? Hey, what's up? Hello, mate. I'm in the shower. What's up, Musical MMA? Hope you had a good gig, my friend. I saw that, or a good busking session. I saw that you were playing some music. Exploring the car. Good to see you, my friend. And yeah, we still got the rest of the homies here. Appreciate you guys. Nick Diaz versus Jorge on UFC 306. Imagine. Oh, I don't hate that. But I don't think Nick will fight Jorge because he doesn't fight the same opponents that Nate fights, or Nate has fought, vice versa. All right. Molly McCann against Bruna, Brazil. I mean, Bruna Brazil looked really good on her Contender Series fight with an amazing head kick knockout. I even posted a video where I reacted to that however many years ago it was, and now a few years back. 1 year and 10 months, only 2 years back. Yeah, she beat Marnik Man, who's meh, with a beautiful head kick KO. Lost her UFC debut against Denise Gomez, which no shame in that. Denise Gomez hits like a truck, especially for a woman in mixed martial arts. Beat Shauna Bannon in her debut, and then lost to Luma Lukbuni, who I do like Luma Lukbuni. So it's like her 2 losses in the UFC weren't bad losses by any means, but she's just not... She's just not a bully in the cage. And Molly McCann, as long as she doesn't get out grappled, is just that. Molly McCann is stronger. She's scrappier. The only thing I'm kind of worried about in this one for Molly is the range. Bruna Brazil is a bit taller and does have longer legs and the reach advantage, and she likes to kick. Now, for Brazilian, Bruna Brazil just doesn't employ grappling at all. If anything, it's probably on the same level as Molly's, as Molly has been training her grappling, has been competing in grappling competitions, and then even winning some regional ones as well. Bruna's not good on the back foot. She has to be the one pushing forward, and I don't think Molly will allow her to do that. I think Molly will take away her space. I think Molly will continue to push into the pocket and set a high pace for this one. What's up, Amberly? Good to see you. All of Molly's recent losses have come to grapplers. Good pressure. I think that's the path to victory here for Molly McCann. Bruna's more of a fragile striker who needs a range and space to thrive. Molly's going to take that away and probably beat her up. So we're going to Molly McCann on this one. She's looked good. She's looked good a weight class down. A lot stronger. All right. Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda. Hey, what's up, MMABG? What to do, my guy? I agree. Molly gets it. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see Amberly as well. The whole crew's here again. Can't be super interactive in this one, but I will be taking your guys' comments and be totally interactive in the Cage Fury FC stream that I will be live for later. I have a meeting in about 40 minutes, so I got to get to that here. So usually we're a lot more interactive for the stream, but I see you all in the live chat. Fucking love you all in the live chat. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. And if you guys don't get the opportunity to tell me your picks here in this chat, comment after this stream is posted, and or hit me up in the Cage Fury FC stream later tonight, and we can definitely chat there. All right, 9th fight on the card. We have Nathaniel Wood against Daniel Pineda. Daniel Steroid Pineda popped in PFL, popped on the regional scene. Did he not pop in the UFC at one point as well? 38 years of age, 28-15 as a pro. He's 2-2 and 1 no contest in his last 5 fights. 9 KO TKO, 19 submissions, 0 decisions. That is awesome to see. 5-6-1 in the UFC, 1-4 in Bellator, 2 no contests in the PFL. And man, he's so old. He's fought in Elite XC. Lost to Alex Caceres, beat Tucker Lutz, but Tucker Lutz actually looked good in some points in that fight. Lost to Cub Swanson. Oh, big whoop. He beat Herbert Burns. Yeah, I don't know. Way past his prime. And Nathaniel Wood is in his fucking prime, man. In his fucking prime. I honestly think that he just got fucked over in this one. He had a good performance against Nemov, but Nemov was cheating left, right, and center. He was on a great 3-fight win streak. A war against Andre Fili, a surprising war. People are saying that one was a bad decision. No, dude, that one was the right decision. Andre Fili just showed up in that fight. Good win against Charles Jourdain. Good win against Charles Rosa. And honestly, I watched this fight back. It should have been a split decision at most. I think he beat Casey Kenny personally. Again, let me know in the comments, either the live chat or on this video after you're watching, and let me know there. But regardless, Nathaniel Wood has not looked bad in his last 5 fights, despite being 3-2 in his last 5. And I think this is going to be an easy win for the prospect, Nathaniel Wood, who's not really a prospect anymore. He's a damn good fighter, and I think at this point in his career, he's levels above that of Daniel Pineda. I think he should have beaten Kenny, like I said. Nemov cheated so many times in that fight. Wood is good grappling and way better striking than Daniel Pineda. So Pineda's like his best offensive tools is grappling. I don't think it's going to be a problem against Nathaniel Wood. I think he has a great leg kick game, and that's another thing that Pineda likes to use as well. Take out opponent's legs, drag him to the ground, get the submission. Nathaniel Wood, he's one step ahead of him in his kicks as well. Straight up off the sauce, Daniel Pineda has not looked good. Like I said, even Lutz has had good moments in Lutz's loss against Pineda. Nathaniel Wood is hard to finish. He's in his prime. He ain't old. I mean, enough said here, right? Enough said. 1-0 in Bellator, 7-3 in the UFC, 7 KO TKO, 6 submissions, 6 decisions. Like, what a balanced record, right? What a balanced record. Out-grappled Alex Caceres, who is a very good grappler there at Polaris 27 as well. John Castaneda is very much a point fighter, and he was able to look and outbox John Castaneda. Maybe lost one round in that fight. And John Dodson beat him, but we know John Dodson still had power in his mitts even in 2020. So yeah, Nathaniel Wood should be an easy pick for us all. All right, as we move to the main card, Arnold Allen against Giga Chikadze. Giga Chikadze 15-3 as a pro, 4-1 in his last 5 fights against Arnold Allen, who's 3-2 in his last 5. But that last one against Evloev was very, very close. You can make an argument that it was the right decision. You can make an argument that Allen should have won. Regardless, didn't look completely outclassed in that one. Kind of looked outclassed against Holloway, but what's interesting is Chikadze looked outclassed against Calvin Kattar, who I know Arnold Allen didn't have a long fight against him, right, because of that knee injury, but I believe it was in the second round, and in the first round, Arnold Allen did look better. He did look good. And I think if that fight would have gone the distance, Arnold Allen would have beat him. Yeah, it was in the second round. And I remember the first round, Arnold Allen looking very good. Giga Chikadze, though, has wicked kicks, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's to the body, whether it's high kick, whether it's to the legs. Trains out of a good gym. 9 KO TKOs, 1 submission, 5 decision, 8-1 in the UFC. Lost his Contender Series fight and actually fought in the World Series of Fighting. Beat Alex Caceres via decision, though. And look, I still like Alex Caceres at this point in his career. But, let's be honest. If Alex Caceres fought Arnold Allen would have probably schooled him. Edson Barbosa was a good win. Cub Swanson, Jamie Simmons, Omar Morales. Look at the level of competition compared to that of what Arnold Allen has been facing recently as well. I think Arnold Allen's striking is underappreciated. He has awkward striking because, he keeps breaking his fucking hands in every fight, but his striking is good. Well, definitely better than what a lot of people tend to describe it as. And his offensive wrestling is very good as well. He just likes to scrap, so he doesn't employ it that much. But in this one, it might be part of the game plan. Now, I know he told Helwani, I know he told the media that, this one's just going to be a big scrap. You know how I like to fight. But if he really wants to get back into title contention, he can't just risk it against a guy whose bread and butter is kickboxing, a guy whose bread and butter is striking, a guy that if Arnold Allen does employ some grappling against, he will absolutely school him. So absolutely, I'm going Arnold Allen on this one. Again, praying to the MMA gods that he actually employs a mixed martial arts game, not just a striking game, because this ain't kickboxing, Arnold Allen. Don't let Giga Chikadze drag you into his world. Now, I know Chikadze's wrestling has come a long way. Obviously, he's had 18 MMA fights now, has only lost 3 of them. But I'm definitely relying on Allen for this pick to be right, to employ some of his offensive grappling, because he can go toe-to-toe, I think, with Chikadze striking, but eventually those legs are going to be chewed up, and eventually he won't be able to shoot as easily as he will be able to in the first round. Again, I think Allen's levels above Caceres, and Giga had a relatively close fight against him. Now, he won on all the judges' scorecards, but I rewatched the fight. Caceres went shot for shot with him in the striking department. He really did. He should have won that last fight, Giga Chikadze anyways, soundly. And again, on the judges' scorecards, it was soundly, but I'm telling you guys, go watch that fight. Whereas against a guy who I think is better than Giga in Evloev, Arnold Allen went to a very close decision against him. Allen has way more tools he can lean on. He can hold his own on the feet. Where Giga is very much a kickboxing specialist, and other than improving his takedown defense and his grappling a little bit, I still think Arnold Allen is miles above him in that department. So going with almighty Arnold Allen in this one. All right, Christian Leroy Duncan against Gregory Rodriguez. Man, this one was the hardest for me to pick. And I went back and forth so many times, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have as well. A lot of you guys who actually watched Christian Leroy Duncan in Cage Wars. If you guys didn't, then I'm guessing you guys just automatically picked Gregory Rodriguez. And I picked Gregory Rodriguez in the beginning as well. I did. But for my official pick, I'm going Christian Leroy Duncan. I'm actually very surprised that he's the favorite. I thought that the odds would be, and now it's close, but I thought the odds would be reversed. I thought that he would probably be like the plus 110 underdog. So yeah, I was very surprised that he was the favorite in this one. This one was tough to pick because RoboCop is awesome. He really is. And he's a tremendous underdog here. So from a betting perspective, smash that. Look, Christian Leroy Duncan and Gregory Rodriguez are two very good strikers at range. Gregory Rodriguez does have good wrestling, does have good grappling, but it's not like Christian Leroy Duncan hasn't handled very good grapplers before, especially Will Curry, who at the time, yeah, they both didn't have a lot of wins. They both were pretty new to mixed martial arts, but Will Curry did go on to be 12-3, and two of those losses were back-to-back losses to Christian Leroy Duncan, one of which, he gave Christian Leroy Duncan a run for his money in the grappling department. He was able to get the win, and then the second one, Christian Leroy Duncan was able to nullify that and get a TKO. Rangy striker, may not have that power that Gregory Rodriguez has in that one-punch power, but puts guys away by following through with shots that wobble them a bit and goes in for the kill when he smells blood. He has pretty good fight IQ. Sure, he's never fought anyone that hits, like I said, as hard as RoboCop, but I think he's smart enough at range to not be tagged with those shots. Smart fighter, amazing amateur MMA and pro career so far. RoboCop, a little bit more chinny than Christian Leroy Duncan, who's never been knocked out, never been TKO'd, but it's not like that's what Gregory Rodriguez is known for. When he gets put out, they're against guys or gets wobbled, they're against guys who are hard-hitting strikers as well. I think overall the grappling is better by Gregory Rodriguez, but I think in the striking department, technique-wise, they're both pretty similar, and I'm going with the younger, I'm going with the fresher guy, I'm going with who I believe is the more hungry fighter in Christian Leroy Duncan. This one was one of the hardest ones to pick on the card, and I might be burned if Gregory Rodriguez is the first guy to knock him out, but I'm very excited for this fight. All right, before we get to the featured fight here, let's just quickly check back in the comments again. Sorry, I haven't been able to be as interactive as I usually am on these streams, guys. I have a meeting in like 20 minutes. Does CLD have his CDL? I don't think so. Wholeheartedly disagree. I like both, and I think you're right. Arnold Allen for the win. I did not. Round 1, RoboCop. Round 2 or 3, CLD. Giga sounds like he's on a mission. Yes, Isha is Ariel's mom's cousin, uncle, sister-in-law, brother's dad, nephew. I'm not even... What, isn't Ariel like Egyptian? I'm not even Egyptian. Little man, is it true they related to Ariel Helwani? No. Different brown. Well, and I'm half white. The Giga Kick. Good to see you, Idaho. What's up, AT? West Coast, good to see you. Yeah, I'm not saying fuck them at all. That's just fucking rude. Kape best dog. Yeah, thank you for voting in the poll question, Larry. Thank you for voting in the poll question. And thank you guys for joining. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. I will be way more interactive on the Cage Fury FC stream tonight. We will be streaming all the prelims, the early prelims, and the main card. So hope to see you guys there as well. I was on green early this week, but I can't bet it. This smell bad. UFC knows something and for sure want Pimblett to win. If we saw anything in the Jared Gordon fight, we know that they want Pimblett to win every single time. Again, big shout out to all you joining, and thank you, Justin, for re-upping your membership as well. All right, Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett. 32-15-1 for Bobby King Green, or King Bobby Green now, against Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Odds are very close in this one. -115 for Green, -105 for Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett is 5-0 in his last 5 fights. Beat Tony Ferguson, couldn't finish him. Beat Jared Gordon, robbery. Beat Jordan Levitt, whatever. Rodrigo Vargas, who the fuck is that guy? Luigi Vendramini, again, who the fuck is that guy? Bobby Green beat Jim Miller. Now, I know Jim Miller probably should have taken Bobby Green to the ground and followed him to the ground after knocking him down, but hey, it was a good scrap. Lost to Jalen Turner. Oh my goodness, yeah, that was brutal. Knocked out Grant Dawson. Actually finished Tony Ferguson. And yeah, he may have headbutted Jared Gordon there where Jared Gordon was on his way to winning. But again, Jared Gordon beat Paddy Pimblett, okay? This is wrong. And we all know it. Oh, man, this one's tough. No, it isn't. We're going Bobby Green. Both get dropped a lot in their fights. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you look at Paddy's old fights and if you look at Bobby Green's recent fights, like, they both get dropped. But I don't know. I wouldn't classify either of them as being like chinny the Jalen Turner one was a brutal knockout. They both don't get knocked the fuck out easily. Green is the way better striker, and it's not even close, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't get taken down that easy either. Like, he's good at stuffing single legs. He's good at stuffing double legs. Where Paddy will be able to take him to the ground is if he clinches him and drags him down, or if he clinches him and lands like a short shot that like puzzles Bobby Green or rocks him a little bit. That's where Paddy's going to have to pounce. And that is a viable path to victory that I think is realistic. Because I don't think Bobby Green's going to absolutely destroy him in the fight. If it stays on the feet, if Paddy refuses to take this to the ground, then yes, Bobby Green will outstrike him and will likely drop him at some point, whether he invites Paddy back up to his feet or not. But if Paddy actually employs a mixed martial arts game or more of a grappling game, let's be perfectly honest here, and that is not necessarily a wrestling type grappling game, but make it dirty up against the cage and try to find the takedown there, that's where he will be able to out jiu-jitsu Bobby Green. Paddy couldn't sub Tony, but Bobby Green did after beating him for most of the fight. And again, Paddy's victory is to hunt a rear naked choke. Because Bobby Green, when he is on the ground, does give up his back. And instead of going for mount and trying to finish him there, where Bobby Green will be able to kind of sprawl and sporadically push him off, he's going to have to go for that rear naked choke. But if Paddy can't take him to the ground, he's going to get beaten up. Shoot, he might even get finished. But yeah, going with Bobby Green on this one. But Paddy Pimblett is the better jiu-jitsu fighter. All right, co-main event of the evening. We got Tom Aspinall against Curtis Razor Blaydes. Tom Aspinall 14-3 as a pro. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. But again, that one came via knee injury to Curtis Blaydes, and it was just kind of a fluky injury, let's be perfectly honest. Whereas Curtis Blaydes beat Gelton Almeida in his last fight. Loved that, by the way, because I cannot stand Gelton Almeida. Cut him from the UFC or send him to the fucking minors. Nobody wants to see that fucking guy fight ever. Got knocked out by Sergey Pavlovich. Oh, a guy who Tom Aspinall won the interim title upon beating. Again, yeah, you beat Tom Aspinall, but yeah, beat Chris Dawkins. Big fucking whoop. Beat Rosenstruck, which, hey, Rosenstruck's a good striker, but, you know, Curtis Blaydes beat him the way Curtis Blaydes beats opponents, utilizing his wrestling, because his wrestling is way better than his striking. He's a very powerful and strong heavyweight. 13 KO TKOs, but again, a lot of those are TKOs upon beating up his opponent on the ground. 0 submissions, 5 decisions. Now, I know he's been training a lot of, you know, heavyweight submission defense, the straight arm bars, the Kimuras, the arm triangle chokes, and things like that, as he should. But again, that's Tom Aspinall's bread and butter. 13-4-1 in the UFC. He is one of the better, if not one of the best heavyweights in the UFC, and is deserving of this title shot. It is important to know that in the first round, Gelton Almeida was ragdolling him. It was just Gelton Almeida gasses because he's a disgrace of a fucking fighter, as he does. And that's where Curtis Blaydes was able to take advantage of him and hammer fist him to a victory. Tom Aspinall, I mean, what a great heavyweight right now. Should be the undisputed heavyweight king. John Jones is scared to fight him. 10 KO TKOs, 4 submissions, 0 decisions. That's what you like to see. 7-1 in the UFC, 2-2 in Bama. God, I miss Bama so much. Such an awesome promotion. Beat Marcin Tybura with ease. Beat Sergey Pavlovich after taking a big shot there. Beat Alexander Volkov easier and more dominantly than Curtis Blaydes beat Alexander Volkov. Just want to point that out. And even beat Andrei Arlovsky easier and more brutal than Curtis Blaydes. So I am going with Aspinall on this one. Surprise, surprise. Do I like Curtis Blaydes? Yes. Do I think he's a good heavyweight in the UFC? Absolutely. He's not fucking Tom Aspinall, though, man. Tom Aspinall's way more well-rounded, faster hands, faster everywhere, great grappling, super strong. Yes, Curtis Blaydes has good wrestling. We know that. That is his bread and butter. It's going to be interesting to see if he can actually out-wrestle Tom Aspinall, because no one has yet. Tom has also beat guys that Blaydes has lost to and who Blaydes have beaten, and he's beaten them in better fashion. Each cleaned out the division, but Tom did it better. Tom has not gone into deep waters, though. We haven't, or deep in the fight, right? Deep waters and deep into the fight. So it's going to be interesting to see who has the better cardio if this does go past round 2, round 3, right? And again, Almeida did throw Blaydes around for a round, but I hate even bringing that up because, like, fuck Almeida, dude. An absolute disgrace to the sport of mixed martial arts. All right, main event of the evening. Let's quickly get to some of these comments. I don't hate Belal at all. I just don't believe he has what it takes to beat Leon out cold, but could be wrong. Won't be mad if he wins. Yeah, honestly, I won't even be mad if he wins either, even though I'm a Leon fan. I'll be more mad that I have to change the profile picture of this channel as per a bet. What's up, Joshua? Good to see you. What's up, Rick? Good to see you. TR Clips, good to see you as well. Again, guys, I got to run I got a meeting in 10 minutes. So sorry I couldn't be more interactive in this stream. I promise we will take more of your comments and we'll be totally interactive in the Cage Fury FC stream, which starts in 2 hours. I will be live in like 2.5 hours. Once my meeting's done, I will get that stream up and we'll be live for the Cage Fury FC prelims as well as the main card. And we'll sit back, relax, crack a couple cold ones on this Friday and hang out with you guys there. And happy to take UFC questions and comments there as well. Hey, what's up, Paradox? Good to see you. Yes, Joshua, I've seen your comment like 3 times, buddy. You don't have to spam it. You don't have to spam it. We literally talked about it in the last stream. All right, main event of the evening. Leon Rocky Edwards against Belal Muhammad. Leon Edwards, 22-3-0 as a pro. There's no contest, which kind of made a little bit of a speed bump in his crazy run. Was an eye poke against Belal Muhammad in a fight where he was absolutely dominating him. By the way, since then he beaten Nate Diaz quite handedly until Nate Diaz landed that one shot, which will always be a little bit of a blemish. And then after that, wrestler. Oh, and what type of fighter did he prepare for before Nate Diaz? Oh yeah, a wrestler in Belal. The fact that people think that Leon Edwards is unprepared for a wrestler, a good wrestler, a great wrestler in Belal, is crazy, given that 3 or 4 out of his last 5 camps have been to prepare for fucking wrestlers, ladies and gentlemen. Belal Muhammad, I forget his name, 23-3 as a pro. He's on a tremendous run right now, ladies and gentlemen. 5-0 in his last 5 fights. 14-3-1 in the UFC. I mean, look at this streak, man. Look at this streak. Well-deserved title shot. Whether you like Belal or hate Belal, you have to admit that he has deserved that. Long time coming for this title shot. Good win against Gilbert Burns, but again, there is an asterisk next to it. A one-arm Burns that Belal couldn't finish, and he couldn't take down with ease at times. Sean Brady, awesome win. Great win against Sean Brady. He dominated him in that one. Vicente Luque, too. If Vicente Luque was as bad as a lot of you crazy, passionate Belal fans are saying he was at that point, he should have finished him. But he didn't. He looked good in the Vicente Luque fight, though. Looked good in the Stephen Thompson fight. Looked good in the Damian Maia fight. Like, he's been on a good run. He's been on a good run, but honestly, like, this was not a great win. It really wasn't. Now, if he would have finished Burns after fucking, like, destroying his arm or shoulder or whatever, then fucking rights, dude. Then you absolutely decimated that man. But he didn't. He didn't. And it's not like he even played with his food. Gilbert Burns, an older Gilbert Burns, was able to survive. And, yeah, I don't know. I was not impressed with that performance. Now, having said that, I wasn't impressed with Leon's performance up until the head kick either. Sure, the first round was really good. First fighter to take down Kamaru Usman, was it ever? And actually ended up in the top position in that fight. And I think even on the back of Kamaru at one point as well. Absolutely gassed. And then what we saw what happened at the end there, and then rightfully beat Kamaru Usman in the rematch. Stuff and takedowns. Yeah, there was a few cage grabs. You know, Leon Edwards should have a few of his fingers cut off, let's be perfectly honest. And then prepared for, oh wow, another wrestler in Colby Covington, and was able to beat him as well. So when people are like, oh, this is a bad style matchup for Leon Rocky Edwards, yeah, maybe 7 years ago it was, but it definitely is not anymore. 7 KO, TKO, 3 submissions, 11 decisions, and obviously there's that one disqualification for him. 14-2-1 in the UFC, 5-0, and god damn, I love Bama. If you guys haven't watched old Bama footage, please go do so. You will be so freaking impressed. And he also fought in Fight UK MMA. And beat an older Colby Covington. I get it, right? I'm not saying that was like a tremendous win. We all knew he was going to beat Colby Covington, but he was able to neutralize Colby's tool that he's still good at, right? Colby showed against Kamaru that he could actually strike. In this one, he showed he couldn't even wrestle against Leon Edwards. Beat Kamaru Usman twice. Was beating Belal. And, Rafael Dos Anjos, he was a very good grappler as well. So, like, well, and he had 3. Okay, this is another thing. I'm picking Leon Edwards to win, by the way, if that wasn't clear. Prepared for a camp with Tyron Woodley, where he had to work on his wrestling. Prepared for Hamzat Chimaev 3 times, which, had to prepare for wrestling. Prepared for Belal Muhammad, another camp, wrestling focused. Nate Diaz didn't have to there. Kamaru Usman wrestling. Kamaru Usman wrestling. Colby Covington wrestling. Everybody who says this is a bad matchup, you are out to lunch, given that pretty much every last camp since 2020 that Leon Edwards has been focusing on wrestling. Leon Edwards is going to win this fight. Leon Edwards is going to win this fight. I do think he's a level above Belal Muhammad. I don't think that Belal Muhammad is good at fighting on the back foot. And if Belal Muhammad marches forward, he stays very stationary. He doesn't have the greatest head movement, and he kind of swings punches confidently, but Leon Edwards has a very good counter game. And I do think Leon Edwards hits a lot harder than people give him credit for, especially those snappy kicks. His elbows are stupidly accurate. He's rangy. He can control the range. He has the reach advantage, and he has very good distance and striking control. Way better counter wrestler than people give him credit for. So much better on the feet. Good at getting back up. Sometimes grabbing the cage. I will give him that. That is a blemish, Leon. I still think you'd beat Belal even with 4 of your fingers cut off, but you should have some of your fingers cut off. Because I think if anyone grabs the cage, they should get their fingers cut off. I think that should be in the contract. I'm just, that's me. I'm fucked in the head. I get it. Sea-level Leon's a mythical creature. And I doubt Belal walks him down as confidently as he did Sean Brady. And let's be honest, Leon Rocky Edwards, he ain't no Sean Brady. He is a way better. And Leon Edwards, like Denial said, his elbows are world class. Scamcat stock is going down. That is true. All right. I always give, again, I don't gamble as much as you guys on mixed martial arts, but my buddy Volkan does like for me to give a safe and degenerate parlay of the week and a lock. So my lock is Sam Patterson. My degenerate parlay, Elise Ardelean, Kiefer Crosbie, Daniel Pineda. My safe parlay, Mick Parkin, Caolán Loughran, and either Tom Aspinall or Leon Edwards, you guys can pick. Looks like you grabbed the cage with your thumb. Dude, I cut the top of my finger off and I can't afford to get stitches in the United States. No healthcare, like in Canada. So I'm trying to make sure that it grows back, but we haven't had a lot of luck lately. And you know what? It's karma, because I was making fun of CTE Tito Ortiz cutting his onions, and the next day I literally chop half my finger off. Anyways, good to see you, Ilkat. Good to see everybody in the live chat here. Dude, I've used duct tape, I've used glue. It just keeps fucking falling off. But hey, that's a story for another day. Join us later today about Parkin after Usman. Also, his stocks are down. New Skin and Butterfly. Let's go. AT was great to see you. Ilkat was great to see you. Activate A. Denial. Amberly. Let me quickly give everyone a shout out. Paradox. Joshua. Sean. Hank the Tank. Rick. Larry. TR Clips. Dylan. Again, I'll be back. Idaho. Skatesman. Lil Man. Jay. No Chill. Musical MMA. JL. Aaron, Wool Black Betty, Bambalam, Yadalok, Dylan Baranya, Irish Animal. Thank you guys so much for joining this picks and predictions video. I'll be back in 2 hours for Cage Fury FC. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you tonight for some more fights, ladies and gentlemen. And we will be doing a live fight companion for UFC. Saturday, UAE Warriors, UFC Super Ryzen 3. Always remember, it's Herb Dean's fault. It's Herb Dean's fault. See you guys later for Cage Fury FC. Peace. Yeah.